Welcome
Oh,
to Chingos of Golf, Chingos of
let's
Love,
go.
Chingos of Laugh, Chingos of Fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Back, the gang is back. The boys are back in town.
Back and better than ever.
What's going
All
on,
three of
guys?
us. Hector, thank you for joining us.
Of
Steve,
course, man. Sorry I've been a
Yeah.
couple episodes late.
This is our
yeah,
Hector, guys. For anyone who's known, this is our Hector. He's the
the
guy, he's the digital guy behind everything, helping us out. And he's one of our best friends. If you guys don't know him, this is
there
the
he
most,
is.
this is the guy.
Slash digital
Of course.
slash marketing. Whenever we post something that doesn't meet our standards, he
Yeah.
deletes it. So,
Yeah.
thank him for it. Man,
We got a good show
Steve,
today, man. Great
I
show today.
know it's
I'm
season
excited.
2, episode 6, our final episode, or maybe we're going to continue going things along, but we want to take this back to home where it all started and back to our grounds of Laredo. Super excited to be interviewing someone. I was going to call it Enigma, but then I searched Enigma and what it meant. It means mysterious. This guy is not mysterious, but he is as jolly as Santa Claus, our old coach, Brad Hopkins from high school football.
Yeah. And we got some sponsors we're going to go through in just a bit. David, if you want
Yeah.
to, yeah, let me
Yeah,
go
yeah,
and bring it
yeah.
up.
Let's go through the sponsorship, man. So
Yeah,
Steve,
today's
light it up,
show.
man.
Yeah, so today's show is sponsored by one of my good friends and his wife. Let me bring up their thing here.
Hola Pepino, right? Or Hola
Yeah,
Pepino.
yeah, spicy mixer. It is actually made here in San Antonio. It has cucumber, jalapeno, pineapple, ginger, lemon, lime, Splenda, and some water. Guys, let me tell you, it's really good. I put
Is it
some Don
good?
Julio on it. I'm not much of a trechas guy, but just drinking it nice and cold. This is something that I highly recommend. It's located here in San Antonio. Right now, I'll go ahead and add where you can
Well,
follow them.
yeah, Steve. It's made with fresh ingredients, spiced to perfection. They make small batches to ensure a premium quality. Perfect to spice up any event. Your favorite cocktails, mocktails, proudly made here in San Antonio. So please like and follow. You can order through a private message on Instagram or Facebook, and you can follow them on Instagram at Hola Pepino and on Facebook at halapepino.com. So actually not .com, Hola Pepino Facebook. Steve, put it in there. There it is.
Yep,
Follow
there you
them.
go.
Good people, local people, fresh ingredients. You hear about all this stuff out there not being fresh. Might as
Super
well do it
keto.
right. Super keto. And if you got that diabetes, I'm sure it can help you out, man. So thank you so much to them. So, Steve, the other thing, shameless plug, man, before we start. So, always want to plug those people that support us, but we should plug ourselves. Our next line of kid shirts coming up. Look at that, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like
we
it.
got the little kid for the black one, for the little one, for your little ones, 5-year-old, 4-year-olds. When you place the order, make sure that you tell them you want to order us. We have to have a minimum order of quality, but we're taking orders now, and hopefully, man, these shirts look good, feel great on your kiddos. So, anyways,
Good
our
job,
two
dude.
plugs there. Thank you to Hala Pepino. Steve, thank you for the connection.
Yeah, of course, man.
And are we ready to start? Okay, well, before we get Brad on or Coach Hopkins on, let's tell our viewers about Coach Hopkins. And yes, it was delicious. A little bit
Thanks, babe.
about him. So we played high school football from the year 1999. Well, Steve and Hector, you played football in middle school, but I'm just going to start
Right,
high school over.
because you
And
didn't play football.
I didn't play football in middle school. We went to different schools, and that's a whole other story. But Coach
But
Hopkins was the offensive coach, the head offensive coach of our football team. He literally worked with you and myself all 4 years. Very positive person, very outgoing, and I don't know, a mentor, a therapist, you name it, in all of our lives for those past 4 years. He saw us in our hard times, good times, and bad times. And he was always supportive. And even now, now that we're adults, in our, 40s, he was our age when he was coaching us. So it's a very beautiful, meaningful, I think, interview. And it's not just like it's not going to be a golf guru. I mean, he does play golf. We're going to talk about that bit. But to us, it means our childhood, someone we really looked up to when we were young.
yeah.
Would you all agree?
Oh yeah, 100%, man. 100%. I've known Coach Hop since middle school. He was, he still is a great coach, a really good mentor to all of us, especially, in the type of schools that we were. I mean, it's not like it was bad or anything, but it's
Yeah.
coming up in the south of Laredo, or not that south, but you know what I mean. But it
Yeah,
was,
middle class Hispanic
yeah,
community. Laredo is 98% Hispanics.
yeah,
And I just a side note, we had Coach Brad Hopkins, he was a white guy. And we're like, all right. And we had very few. There's a picture of the football coaches that will show a little bit. But to be an individual non-Hispanic in a predominantly Hispanic community, coaching us, really taking the lead meant a lot to us because that was the only person we knew really
yeah,
as an adult that was white, so that from a Chingos perspective, he was Chingon, man. He was
yeah,
the white Chingon guy, but we loved him and he was just no different than anybody else.
yeah. He was a great
Yeah.
mentor to us. Great mentor to us. All right.
Yeah,
So
he's been a significant part of our lives for 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
So
At least.
really excited
And
to see him
thank
and
God
speak
for
to him.
Facebook too, man, because Facebook and this social media just really helps us keeping connected. And that's what Coach Hop was saying earlier. Like we haven't spoken to him in, I would say, 20 years.
20 years. This is the first time.
And we
this
got
first
him
time
on.
talking to him, yeah.
When we had a little bit of chat right just before, and he was just like we spoke to him yesterday. It was great. So I'm really excited for this show, and it's something that we want to share with everyone.
And I will say, if any one of us cries, man, it's okay. Okay, virtual hugs.
Virtual hug. It's
all
okay.
right. Let's bring
It's okay.
Coach Brad Hopkins, also Coach Hopkins here at Live and in Color. Let's go.
Let's go.
The champ of all champs, our true champ, Coach Brad Hopkins. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us today.
What's up?
I appreciate y'all having me, man. This is an honor.
Thanks.
More
Coach.
than an honor. It's
Sure
an honor
is. Thank
mostly to have you on, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Coach
guys
Hopkins, we have a list of things. Go ahead.
About 20-something years older, each of you. You're all in your.
A few grays here and there.
Yeah, I got facial hair. That's it. Coach. Everything. I have a bigger forehead, I think.
Is Hector in Mexico City tonight, or is he stateside?
I am visiting. Yes,
Hector.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's visiting over there. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave and I here in San Antonio.
At your place in Mexico City live.
Sounds good. Come anytime.
Go ahead, David.
So Coach Hopkins, I mean, a lot of our viewers don't really know you. They may know you. It's a mixed bag. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us about how you ended up coaching in Laredo High School, being our offensive line coach. And I think afterwards also you became a head coach and you went on to better things during your career, recently retired, but really we want to know about how did things start with Coach Hopkins? What has inspired you to get into coaching, living in Laredo? Let's start from there. Coach Hopkins, kick it off to you. Did we lose him? Is that too fast for you, Coach?
Oh, no, I think it's just a little
delayed.
Well, you're breaking up, but I got the gist of the question. Hector, I think your volume may be on, or your mic may be on. So I got it. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, it's kind of delayed.
Yep.
Anyway, I ended up in Laredo because of my wife, Maria Elena. I met her in San Marcos. So that's where it all started for me, and I drove down here. We got an apartment, put me in it. We weren't married yet. We didn't marry till the next, after my first year. Can y'all hear me okay? Just not. Yeah, yes, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And luckily I got connected with Coach Sanchez, David Sanchez, and he put me to work at his middle schools. And, I was at Lamar and I was working under Coach Jim Bradford, who was a second-year coach. So we were young and hungry, man. We didn't know, all we could fall back on was just, how we grew up and our coaches and things like that. So, man, I'm surprised I'm even a guest, man, because Steven's group, wow, we were tough on him, man. We were really, really tough on him. but they responded, because we knew they had a lot in the tank. And just across town or just down the road where, is Memorial, the other feeder, and Hector and those guys over there, man, we knew they were getting after it. So the end of the year game between Memorial and Lamar was always a big thing.
Yeah.
And
what was the biggest difference?
The biggest difference is we always lost.
Yeah. We had some good athletes here at Lamar, no doubt. Memorial had not even close to as many kiddos, so they didn't have as big a draw. But one story about Hector that Coach Lopez, Joel, always remind, he'll bring it up. We're at Carne Asadas and we talk about the old times. When Hector was at Memorial, well, I don't know that Hector was a starter there for a while, especially at the beginning of the year. But the way the story goes is Coach Lopez says that Hector would always say, man, I can't wait till report card day because, half the team's going to fail and I'm going to get to play both ways. So he always shares that, Hector.
Oh, that's a good story. Yeah. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that's funny.
So, man, we remember a lot of things about each of you guys, and for sure. But, yeah, that's how it kind of all started. We got hungry. Coach Sanchez, his deal is you got to have a burning desire, and and I'm a young coach listening to a veteran coach, and that's what he wants. He's the leader, so I'm going to project that. We are going to project that on our middle school kids, Oh, yeah. And you guys responded, and look at how your careers finished up. Y'all did well.
Yeah, that was something.
How it flowed,
Yeah, it was something that I always remember. Playing football in middle school was new to me. I played, just playing around. I never played flag football, but just being in that aspect, it was new to me. And to have the coaches push me to a certain level that I never really thought I could reach, and just like you said, respond to it, without saying no, I don't want to, or no, I just felt that you guys, that crew, was always looking for our best interest, and always pushing us to the next level. So that I really do appreciate, Coach.
Sure, man. That year after year, that's what it's all about. Is pushing kids to their, and that's what we did on you guys. And look at you, man. That's what's going to happen. If you, I think parents and I think really kiddos, they want that in their lives.
Oh yeah.
A parent wants, hey, take my son, take my daughter, and challenge her, and because when she goes home, she may go over to mom or she may go over to dad and say, can, and get their approval on something, and when they go and get in a program, things are totally different. Things are done, a certain way, and everybody's got to follow the leader, or follow along, or, but I was just real proud of you guys, that, man, because after workouts, we'd have to step aside and go, man, did we push too hard?
With us?
Yeah, man. Because
there are some days
brutal, but as long as you guys are responding and we're seeing growth, we're going to continue to challenge. And that's what we did. So,
yeah. Well, coming into high school, I wasn't in middle school. I was in a private school. I joined football with these guys later on, but this is who I recall being Coach Hopkins right there. That right there is the dream team during our high school senior year. Can you see my picture?
Yeah, I can see that.
There you are right there in the very top right corner, Coach Hopkins, plus, all the other coaches. Coach Joel Lopez was there.
Flores, Butch, yeah.
Coach Flores, he's Aguirre is there.
Yep.
Yeah, Coach Castillo. Rest in peace, Coach Gomez.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
He was a great coach, man. That's another one to push you to the limits.
Yeah.
So Coach Lopez just retired, so he, I wanted to mention that. He's enjoying his retirement. Talked to him this afternoon. Yeah, him and Martin. We did a little conference call. Yeah.
Good,
awesome.
Good
old Martin.
Yeah, I know. We loved Martin.
Martini.
He knew.
everyone's locker number. You remember that?
Everyone's locker number.
Everyone's. Yes.
I'm sure he still knows them. He still knows them to
and
the
not just
I'm
our
sure.
age.
And your combinations too, probably.
And the kids before us, the kids after us, every year he knows everyone by memory. What a beautiful mind. What a beautiful mind.
Beautiful soul for sure, Martin.
100%. So Coach Hopkins, your wife drew you to Laredo, and from there you met Coach Sanchez, and you and Coach Sanchez kicked it off. And that's where you started your career in middle school. And then you made your way to J. Dillon Nixon High School, where is it safe to say that most of your 8-10 careers started with Steven's group? And then after we graduated, you had another cohort of kids, obviously. But were they the only ones that you saw from beginning to, I would say, end senior year?
Yeah, Steven's group. I was the head coach at Lamar his 7th grade year, as I recall. And I think Teniente was the quarterback. Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah, Teniente was the quarterback. God bless him. He was coming off a rough time in his life, and I think, again, brotherhood, just getting involved in a group of good guys, helped him and a lot of guys out. But yeah, that's where we started. The next year I went to the high school. I actually left with Coach Sanchez and went to Holmes for just the spring semester and through the summer. And then I came back because it's a long story. I just built a home here and I couldn't sell it, and stuff. But I came back and man, Coach Lopez got me right back into where I was. I could have ended up anywhere. I was trying to get back in the district. Because I had resigned, and gone over there with him. So yeah. And then they came up the next year. They became freshmen, and and I was a freshman coach. So I got to work with them a little bit, and then Coach Lopez named me the offensive coordinator for the 01 season because Bradford left to San Antonio.
Yeah.
And wow, man, I was like, what? I go,
all right.
Because it was kind of late, and I was like, yeah, well, let's get after it, man. But we had a great season. We were fortunate. You guys were going into your senior years, and we had a good group to work with. Y'all had won a bunch of sub-varsity games, and so wow, man.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Question. Coach, go ahead. No, go ahead, Hector.
Coach, on that topic, football. What inspired you to be a coach? Did you have some kind of career in football, or did you have just a really good mentor? What inspired you to be a coach?
Shoot, man. I think just, my coaches, along the way, I had a good one in elementary from third and fourth grade. He had a great after school program. And, at the beginning of the year, we learned how to do volleyball and then basketball and track. And, this was all in his free time. He taught us how to compete, and not necessarily win or, keep up with that kind of stuff, but compete, and so when I became a coach, it was really because, I majored and got a degree in criminal justice, and I was working in that field, and man, I just kept seeing the same kiddo recycled from different sites around the state. They would just kind of move them around, and I was like, man, this is kind of getting a little, I'm lost for the word right now, but I wanted to work in a more positive environment where I could impact kids, So I graduated. I went right back to school. I finished all my degree work, summer session 1, summer session 2. I walked into Southwest Texas into the gym to register for classes, and I said, I want to be a coach. That's all I said. I want to be a coach. I just finished my degree work, and they sent me over to the PE table. And I knew nothing about, you could teach science or math or, English. I would have been a lot more marketable. I could have gone a lot more, if I wanted to, different places and stuff. Not that I wanted to. But PE, thank God, kept me grounded, man, here in Laredo. I was very fortunate to work as a PE coach for 27 years because normally those jobs at the high school level, they go to their coordinators, they're big shots, on their staffs. So, you know, to be a PE guy and to be in your 50s and 60s, you know, like, it, you know, is a little tough. So I wanted to be around more positive kiddos. And so when I showed up to work, you know, with Coach Sanchez and he hired me, man, I just it just overcame me. I just started coaching the very first day. I'll never forget it. And I never looked back, you know, and I just grew in the profession because I got to be around kiddos like you guys. Hey, one thing I wanted to mention to y'all is I wrote down y'all's numbers just so, you know, everybody could know what number you were back in the
day. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm gonna start off with
save David
number
last.
69.
No,
who was 69?
Just went straight for it.
It's a big
Yeah.
V. Yep.
That number retired.
David, loved your energy, man. Back in the man, I'm serious, man. You worked for everything you got, and I know you shared time at the guard position with Chris, not Chris, but Rollins, right?
Yes.
Chuck,
Yeah.
Chuck,
Yeah.
Chuck
Yeah,
Rollins, yeah.
Chuck.
And man, you know, that was awesome, Coach. You know, we had too many good players to be on the bench, and to find a way to rotate you guys in there, we didn't miss a beat, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, number 19, Hector Ruiz.
Let's go.
Number 19.
How he ended up at the linebacker position.
I know, number 19 at linebacker. Interesting.
No, but shoot, man, that's Southeastern Conference stuff right there. You know, fast guys.
I was always
Not
afraid to go
big,
up the middle with that guy. Yeah.
Speed.
And then of course, you know, in 2001, you know, to kind of get us there, Steven Chavez on the gimme signal to Ellie, didn't even call that play from the press box, and we throw a fade for a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You
remember that, right?
Oh yeah, Coach. Yeah, it's in here. It's always in here and in here.
Sure.
So yeah, and it's funny you say that because even my wife was like, I kind of wish I want to watch you play a little bit, but I'm like, we were a great group of kids. You know, we pushed ourselves, and that's something that I really enjoyed. You know, even Hector was on defense, and a lot of our one of our best friends, a lot of those guys, like we played like we were rivals, offense and defense, and was just like scary at the same time, but you know that just made us better. And once the play's over, we're good. You know, we're good. We're golden. Let's take it to the opponent now.
Now listen, I think Hector and David, I think y'all need to autograph or sign your neck rolls.
I had a cowboy collar.
Man.
Yeah, the big cowboy collar. Yeah,
don't forget, man. Don't forget. Like, we remember those things. We remember.
Yeah, I had those side pads that went up to my rib,
real high. Yeah,
yeah.
The ones we would issue in middle school, right?
Yeah, I couldn't give them up.
I had my the quarterback pads, football pads, and like a rib cage thing because I was like, I can't run with I was 150, like all wet, like I just couldn't. I don't know how I did it, but I was like, I need little pads, and it made me more agile, I guess.
Yeah, sure. That was a new position for you too, there, man.
Oh yeah,
because you're a quarterback and you switched positions, and dang, man. You know, after a few years after you guys, you know, things kind of change with kids. They're not too cool with changing positions, you know. Yeah. Even if
let's talk about that, Coach Hopkins. We bring this topic up, and this is one of my questions. What was it that made kids that you thought, like a group of kids, successful in the game, or just successful in general, versus kids that maybe, or groups of kids, it could be either one, that you knew were not going to be reciprocating the kind of effort y'all were making back? It seems like we just meshed well. Our group of kids meshed well with you guys before and after, as your career went along, or maybe before us or after us, basically. How did things change with the kids? What was different than with us? Because I hear you say those things. I'm curious to what you saw.
Yeah, you know, kids are kids, man. They're kids. I've been to different schools, and after I left Nixon, and it's amazing. Just kids are kids. They just want to be coached, and they want to be led and taught. I think the biggest thing, with teams and kiddos is they've got a great support system at home. That those parents are right, they're aligned with the coaches and aligned with the sports that they play, and from practice to decisions that are made about the kiddos and things like that, and it doesn't matter if a kid comes from a good situation, where he goes home and has a good roof over his head and he's fed 3 meals a day, or to kiddos in the middle, that maybe they're from a one parent, or kiddos that they go home to their grandmothers or their grandparents or their aunts or their uncles, because that's what they have. As long as that support is there, as far as pushing them, continuing to push them to grow as individuals, and not make excuses about whatever. I mean, there's a million excuses that can be made, when something goes good or something goes bad. I mean, when we're doing good, like when you guys were playing, there were still parents that, were kind of upset, that kids weren't getting playing time and things like that. Well, you can kind of imagine on the other end of the spectrum, if, we're not doing very well, and a kid's not, well, give my kid a shot. Maybe that'll be the difference, and Coach Lopez used to say it very well, that he would tell the parents and, that, this is our livelihood as coaches. We have to go with the best kiddos at the position that we feel that will help us there, but, backups are crucial. But I would say family support and just, letting coaches coach, I mean,
Give you
coaches
space.
aren't out of line. They're not out of line. They're there to, raise your kid's bar and, and push them along through life and make them better. That's it. That goes for girls and boys. I've seen some girl coaches that, man, they're tough, man. They're like football coaches, but on the girls' side, and, they're left alone. You don't hear too many parent complaints or things like that. But for the most part, my career anyway, I can say parents were awesome, man. They pushed their kids and, man, and they're out there in the world doing great things now. So,
yeah. My two memories of you, Coach Hopkins, or the two sayings that I recall was, you never put me down. I appreciate that. I think I look back at one of the coaches told me once, and Steve was there, made me cry. And he said, quote, "You'll always be bench." And this was sophomore year when I was not doing so well. I mean, football was new to me.
You're a running back.
I was a running back. It was bad. I mean, but anyways, and I remember him saying that, and I started crying. And then Steve says something that we still say to this day. He says, "It's okay, Wade. Like, don't cry." Whatever. But you never did that at all. And even when there was days where I was to be benched or like someone was playing better than me, because I was a backup up until maybe senior, and then I got injured and all that good stuff. But you always gave me optimism. And you would say this. You would say, "David, you're just a diamond in the rough. We just got to shine you up. You're a diamond." I remember that one. And then there was another one that I'm trying to remember where Carpe Diem. We were at a football game. I forgot which one was, a night game. And on the background, they were playing the song, "Hey, baby, dun, dun, would you be my girl?" Dun, dun. And then you're in the back. We were just calling it playing. They're like, "Carpe diem, fellas. Seize the day. You'll never be this young. You'll never be this young. Seize the day." And then you gave us all a look, and we're like, and we would call the play. Let's go. But I'll never forget that. So anyways, you're very positive, and I really appreciate that for being such a positive coach in my life. So, given the circumstances that occurred in my football career at high school and so forth, but just my thoughts there.
Yeah, man. No, I think coaches, are big. They rooters for underdogs. And that goes for anybody in general, really. You can root for the teams and the players that are on top, but really the glue to systems and the foundations that hold it all together, are the kiddos that come to practice daily, that cause no issues, that they just get in the weight room, they go to practice, they do everything they're asked to do. And that goes for all sports, man. And I was just always a big rooter for the underdog. I remember being in many heavy discussions about y'all probably know Philip, right? Garcia.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Philip well, I think he was a year under y'all, maybe, or two.
Mm-hmm. 2 years ago.
Okay. He was a sophomore, and I remember that spring, I was like, man, Philip is kind of turning it on, he's showing some stuff. And another coach who maybe coaches that position had a little different thought about that, But I was a real big underdog for kids that like, hey, we're going to get some production out of this guy. I don't care, how fast he is or what.
Oh, yeah.
JJ Calzada is,
JJ.
one of the best possession receivers we had, Frank Moncada, who officiates now. Another good one, Frank Hernandez, I mean, those are guys that are not by any means full of athleticism.
No Wembyambas.
Right.
Yeah.
But they just make plays, man. So you have to appreciate guys like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think on that note, we've recently started playing golf, right? So there's a lot of these analogies and metaphors with life. And for the longest time, I think we used football for our analogy and the things that you taught us at a young age. One of the things that I remember you kind of defining for us was having character. And I think it was just doing the right thing when no one's looking, right? And that's something that I still live by. So,
sure. Yeah, man. We, as coaches, we go to school in the summer, and in the spring, we get to go to clinics. And man, thank God, Coach Lopez was very, okay with the idea of because I would tell him, and we would share with him, hey, coach, let's go visit this place and let's go visit this place. And, we started taking pictures back when there were no, cameras on the phones and stuff.
Thank goodness.
With really important people, in the profession that we learned from, and stuff. And they always stress character, man, and one thing that I always, but again, you learn this from other coaches that are big timers, that project to your kiddos that, you want them to be great husbands and great fathers and great, brothers and sons and all that. And that goes for the young ladies as well. They want to be good wives and good sisters and good daughters. And, and that just makes, I think if more programs would really, really, hone in on that, man, we would, get some stuff straight in the world, not that the world's a bad place, but, you see people that they slip occasionally in things and that maybe weren't involved in sports or extracurriculars and they miss the message, so our hopes are always high for y'all. That's why we pushed, always, because your shadow follows you everywhere, right? And so does your reputation. And, and you don't want them to pull up your file and dadgum, you got a red flag on it, and you got to answer to it. And that may be the difference in you getting a job or not getting a job. So those are some of the things that we project on kids. And another thing I think we need to project on kids, I don't know if we're doing it, enough, is financial, how to manage your money, and I'm not necessarily talking about, investments and
basics,
all that. Yeah. Basics. Because I've seen, I've had roommates, growing up in the past in our 20s, man, that were already floating checks, back in the day it was checks, when they hadn't even gotten their paycheck yet, you know.
David still writes checks, Coach. So
I wrote a check for the DMV, by the way. I had to get a title for my car. I had to write a check, and I forgot to spell like $5. They had to put the 00. Anyways,
Yeah.
I did write a check recently.
That's
Jeez.
funny.
You know,
But
you had
anyway, yeah, Hector, to answer your question, yeah, man. And you guys are great examples of it, man. Hey, and I wish he could have been here tonight. He may be on. I don't know, but I haven't seen him in a while. It's Renee Lemos. I know they're expecting another child, and you know, maybe we could do it live at his place. Sayulita.
I would love that. That would be great.
Get down there on the beach, man.
Shout out, Renee.
Shout out to Renee. You know, I did mention him. We're gonna have you as a guest, and he was so excited.
Yeah, well, you tell him that I asked about him. If
he's watching this so far, I think he's somewhere on there. So Renee said hi. You know, so
yeah, I hope things went well with their second child. Yeah,
you know, Coach Hop, there's some people on the chat that want to say hi to you. I'm just
yeah,
gonna call
we
it
have
out.
some. Yeah, we have some people on Facebook. Thornton, I don't know if you've seen it, Coach. We've been these are comments coming in from just all the love and support for you, Coach. I mean, right now we got T, the great Esteban Teniente. Can you see that, Coach, on there? Yeah.
Hey, throw it right here. Put this hands up. You need to join athletics, and the rest is history. You know, T's still alive. Golly, man. hey,
T's thriving, man.
He's thriving, doing
man.
well beyond this guy. You know, from everything that was the hand that he was dealt to where he is now. T, we love you, and I know he's doing more than well, and that's a success story. Not because part of his team, but also you and your coaches, Coach Hop. You saved a lot of our lives, man. Shoot.
You know, man, I take no credit for that because y'all were, up to that line. You just needed a little nudge. Some of you needed a push. But yeah, T. I keep up with T. He does. He. I'm sure he doesn't, see any comments from me or, enough of them or whatever. But I try to let him grow as a coach, and man, he's done a great job. And he's down there being a great leader on the South Side, and I keep up with him. I just don't let him know that because that was the last place I worked at. So he came in after I left that year, and wow, man, he just does a great job with those kiddos. They're gonna do good things in the years to come down there.
Now, and one of the things, Coach, the eye in the sky does not lie. That was one of the sayings that you had, and I know we spoke about it a little bit. This is Ellie, one of our great friends here. The comment.
No,
Ellie, get off. You're not
Coach
even.
Hop doesn't know who Ellie is, man. No, not at all. Who's Ellie? No.
Well, it's for our
Ellie,
listeners.
get off. You're not even eligible. Stick with me forever. I never failed a class again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. Ellie, I'm gonna tell you a quick story about Ellie. Okay,
Do it.
Two quick ones, real quick. Okay,
We got plenty of time, Coach.
All right,
Plenty of time.
Seventh
Don't worry
grade
about
football. Steven knows this too.
Yeah.
Ellie, seventh grade football. Okay, we're getting to report card time, and boom, we get them, and Ellie's done. He's done. 69, Miss Chavarria. He's done. So we go to practice. Ellie's out there like, he's a 5-star, SEC recruit of the year coming in as a freshman. I'm comparing that to 7th grade. And so sure enough, that comment was made, because Ellie, we can't be going over plays with you, man. You're done for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So he walks off and his head is down. I've never seen a kid more sad that is that talented, but he knew, man. He knew it was his fault. His dad tried to come up and get him a little extra work with Miss Chavarria, and no, sir, not gonna budge. So he learned a huge lesson, And so now to the basketball story. This is the best one, This is 6th grade tryouts. We're in the gym. We're going to have 2 teams of 15 kids on each, right? We're all in there working out, 30 minutes in, and here we go. Some kid looking in the door, not coming in the gym, just all I can see is his forehead and his eyeballs. and that was Ellie. And I
He's
don't
still
know
the
if you
same.
remember Lupito, but Lupito Gomez came up to
Lupito
me
Gomez,
and said,
yeah.
Coach, can Ellie try out? And I was like, well, who's Ellie? I didn't even know who Ellie was because he was a sixth grader. I said, sure, come on in, and Ellie comes on in there, and, he made the team and a little sixth grade team. We couldn't cut anybody, man. I couldn't cut nobody. I'm one of those coaches. So we had like 22 guys on one team,
Good for you.
and about 30 on another,
The green and white team. Yeah. Green and
Yeah.
white.
So
Well,
that's our
one of the
story
things,
about Ellie. He was a shy little guy back in the
Yeah.
day, but he is,
Coach, I don't know if you knew this, but JJ and myself really had to call the plays for him in the huddle. I don't know if you ever knew that because it was
I
just
think
he was
we
nervous.
did know that, but we, some things are better left not,
Yeah.
the less you know, the better. As
Better.
long as we're executing
We're
down
executing.
the,
And to go back on middle school with Ellie, and one of the memories I have is if it was me, Esteban Teniente, I think Rosmal and some other guys, we were being disruptive in Tano Tijirina's class. Remember, and coach, they reached out to you. You came during class, and you said, "Hey, let's go outside." So we go outside, and we already knew what we needed to do. We in our school clothes, we did 500 yards of bear claws. Like, and I was like, we are never misbehaving in class again, because Laredo Heat, the Lamar Field at that time was a lot of Montes, and
The Espinas.
the Spinas and everything, and then what we had to do, we had to finish
story
class.
about that. That was Coach Bradford's idea. I'm gonna throw him under the bus now. But discipline was big, and and like I said, he was in charge. So Coach Bradford's at the high school, but he taught at Lamar. So I wanted him to know I was a tough. I took his place in a tough way. So we're gonna get the discipline done. I think it was Miss Segura's class, wasn't it? With those guys, maybe that was another group of kids.
Yeah, it was.
Man. No, today I don't know that would be acceptable. Things are really, really different. You gotta.
That's what I was going to ask.
If
500 bear crawls would have been punishment nowadays, or what changed throughout the years? What is it? 50 yards now? What is it?
Well, we encourage kids to do the right thing, right? And if things kind of get bad, or we have to step in, and there's a lesson to be learned. I guess the discipline has to kind of we need to keep it along those lines. You don't want to run kids off by any means, but you do want the point to be made, I guess is the right way to say it. And man, like I said, you guys were part of our first 2 or 3 years, guys, and so you saw some guys like really crazy to get after it, and push kids and stuff. Cause that's what was being projected from the top. We want the best kids entering our program. We want to win with the best kids. We don't want to win with kids that are bad-mouthing teachers or being disruptive in the classroom and, or at the mall on a Saturday stealing things and stuff like that. We want to work with kiddos that go home or yes, sir, and no, sir to their parents. And, so that's kind of how that went, So, yeah,
Coach
but it has
how many championships did you win?
Oh, man, this is a good question. When we were at Nixon, the 2000 team, we won the Martin game at the end of the year, and that allowed us to get into the playoffs as a third or fourth place team. I can't remember. That began the winning streak. I don't know. A lot of people don't know that. Well, it was that Martin game of 2000. And then you guys came in and we went 11-2, correct? Is that what we went?
11,
yeah,
correct.
I look back and we lost to Holmes that year, close game, and then we lost, at the very end of the year to
Madison.
Madison, that's right.
David has a story about that. Why do we use Dave?
We can do a full hour on that.
Anyway, refresh my mind. What was the question again, real quick? Oh, championship.
How many championships?
Okay, from 01 to 05, we won the district championship. Okay, and you guys were the first district champion, in a while there at Nixon. And we won, four of them in a row after you guys. But there was a lot of hard work into that. There's a lot of learning going on at the same time because we changed offenses. We didn't change the defense, Hector. We stayed in the 4-3, trapper, cloudy to clear, cover 2 principles, and let our fast dudes like, you, Hector, and Palafox and Joey and all you good linebackers go to work,
Joey.
So, I always tell people I'm the guy that came along after Coach Lopez and I'm the guy that, we won our first game to make it a 34-game winning streak in all over a period of that time. But, I was a proud head coach when I took over, even though, the record over the next 4 years was only, I think it was 12-29 is what it was. We won 5 games my first year, 5 the second, made the playoffs. And then we had 2 really, really bad years. We went 1-9 and 1-9.
Wow.
And so the kiddos were the same. We did the same stuff defensively, offensively. You can't be on top all the time. But I was proud of the kids, like they didn't, make excuses or anything.
So what changed? What was the changing factor there to go from winning to not?
Well, I don't know if you can contribute. All I can say is that the district changed, new leadership. The people that hired me were different. They wanted their guys in there, I'm sure, especially if we're not doing so good as the staff and but not making any excuses because we coached the same way, we prepared the same way, everything was the same. God loved our coaches and our kids and the Nixon community. But we played some good teams, man, that played good football. We in football you got to score enough more points to win, and on defensively you got to hold teams, and we just didn't do that very well, for the those couple of years. So it's time for somebody else to take over, and I realized that, and I made the decision to move on, because I didn't want to be in the way anymore. It's time for a new voice. But yeah, we won 5 in a row, man. Really good times. And some of the best times I had too was going through the next 4 years when we went 12-29, because that's where you learn about people's character and, and things like that, support and, and thank goodness we had that there within the program.
And I think also with that, Coach, Laredo was growing at that time. So there was like the feeder schools was Lamar and Memorial at one time.
Yeah.
And now it's saturated. I mean, there's a bunch of schools now, and
there's a lot of parity for sure. Lots of parity around town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nixon's going to be good. I think next year they're going to rebound from the last couple of years where they didn't make the playoff. They almost made it last year.
And that campus looks insane, Coach.
Right, well deserved. Those kiddos, that community, and all over town. Martin, Figueroa, they all got new facilities, man, and. But we can say that we were the grassroots, right?
Oh, yeah.
We started back when we were on dirt fields and there was no water, water in those fields. And, next we'll see indoor practice facilities. I really believe it.
Oh, man.
Okay, so things have changed.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if there's going to be an investment to winning, and kids want to win, parents want to win, if there's a commitment, look at Alice just down the road. They went 4 rounds deep, I believe, this year, or 3 rounds. They have a brand new indoor facility. Cal Allen's got one. Flower Bluff's got one. So.
Coach, would you think that's like a disadvantage? As far as I remember it was Laredo's 110, full pads, everything. And now, we're talking about indoor facilities and just helmet only, and what we call it, shimmo and shorts.
Mhm.
So do you
Yeah.
see, would you say, in your opinion, is that a disadvantage to have an indoor facility?
It's just I really believe, it's on the coaches and the kids. It's the quality of work, getting done in practice, the repetitions, what's being allowed to happen. Hopefully good reps are going on. It doesn't matter if it's in, an indoor facility or not. I know after you guys moved on, we went to shorts, shorts, t-shirts, and shoulder pads, and we gave the kids a couple of knee pads that they pulled up over their knees, and we practiced in shorts, man, because girdles became, kind of a new thing. And so kids were out there playing, at practice, tackling at times, in their shorts, but
Wow.
they still had their butt pad on and their hip pads, and they
Safety
even had
first.
their thigh pads too, because it was like a front girdle that they wore that. So, man, it's just about getting your kiddos prepared, and them, not going, oh, we're going to be in the AC today, we get to take it easy. Man, that's on us, the coaches, man. Oh, really? We're going to come in here with that?
Turn up
So
the heater in
we'll spend a
this
little more
place.
time on this, maybe, or So yeah, we just got to get it done, man. They
Yeah.
know who their opponent is on Friday night,
Yeah.
and we want to go put the best product we can out there, So yeah.
Go ahead, David, because I know you're itching to say something, dude. Let's go.
I mean, I want to.
Transparency, buddy. Come
I have
on with it.
so Coach Hopkins, we have a surprise for you.
Uh-oh.
So we do have a little bit of a surprise for that. I want to bring up maybe in 5 minutes or so. But before I got there, I was going to ask my one question. But Hector and Steve, do you all have a question? Or we just jump into my question?
Go for it.
So I think, Coach Hopkins, in your career, now that we get to talk to you, now that you're retired, what was the most challenging part of your job? Like looking back, what was the most challenging time of your football career?
As a coach,
I mean, I think I would say as a man, mostly, yes, coaching, but I guess just like in general, I guess I'm looking at two ways. Looking back now that you've done your career, what was the most challenging piece? And I'm thinking it from myself, selfishly, I'm thinking from like my own lens to learn something from you that I could take away. Yeah.
Sure, man. I'll be real honest with you. When Coach Lopez left to Alexander, okay, we had almost 300 kids built up into the program. 300 kids. And that was, after the 05 season, we had just won our 5th one. So we're in that spring, in 06. That's when he left. And I was not going to apply for the job at all, and then just some circumstances came up where I was kind of a little taken aback by, I kind of heard that, things were going on behind the scene and stuff, and I was like, well, I told Coach, I don't want to leave Nixon, man. And you don't need to be leaving Nixon either, dude. We got a great group of guys coming up. But he was looking to further his career, I mean,
A change, yeah.
Coach was ready for a payday, to be quite
Yeah.
honest, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing
He
wrong with
worked
that,
hard,
right.
And UISD stepped in that direction, And over that summer, Coach Sanchez had a lot to do with that too. He was coming back into the district, and they were recruiting top of the line people over there, and so Coach went over there, and I applied for the job just like everybody else did, went through the interview process and got the job. I don't think I was the person that some people on the, some parents, let's say, not even a lot, maybe less than a handful, maybe had some concerns with me being the head coach. Maybe they wanted someone else to be, And so we, I kind of went into it that way, and we kind of felt our way through the first season, and then the next year, wow, we got better. We made the playoffs. We almost beat the number one team in the Valley, Donna. They were 10-0 going into that game, and they beat us in the last two minutes of the game. And then the 1-9 season set in. So then that's when things can get real interesting and ugly, And as a professional educator, wow, man, you just learn a lot about people and I'm not going to talk bad about anybody. Everybody knew and knows their role that was played. And but I give huge shout out to the kiddos that did stay very focused, and their parents, and the support that I got from, I would say 98% of parents, and just things like that. But when you're not winning,
that's hard.
That's when moves can be made, and little side discussions can be made that you're not
done.
And so as a coach, you kind of understand that and things like that. But man, I'm always real. I try to be hey, I'm Coach Hop, whether I'm 1-9 or I'm, we went 10-2 or whatever. And we're just going to continue to try to produce great kiddos. If it works out in the win-loss column, that was the other thing, man, I learned a lot about is the win-loss column in life or sports or whatever, for girls, guys, professional, however you want to look at it, does not define us. That win-loss column, it doesn't define us. Man, some of the best coaches I know, didn't win very many games as a head coach, and the scoreboard doesn't define you, unless deep in your heart you didn't do your best. So some of those kiddos know that maybe they didn't do their very best, but again, like I talked about before, it all starts at home, and or especially around the supper table. You always, and you guys are at getting at that age, man. You got to talk highly about who is in charge of your kiddos, who is leading them. Don't talk negative about them, things like that, because it just creates, bad culture or, bad stuff, and it's like rain cloud, dark rain cloud just pours, man. It's hard to get it to stop. But yeah, that was probably the most challenging time, but the most rewarding time too, because, I wasn't going to, give up on those kiddos. I was going to coach them as long as I was there.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of wins or losses, you've impacted the community of Laredo immensely, for many, many years, many individuals. Everybody knows how you coached, and over the test of time, and I'll just end it with this, I feel that we've known what has transpired with others as things pass. Time happens, mistakes are made, but you have been true, Coach Hopkins, and I think as someone that we look up to, you've been a man of faith, you've been a man of family. And to me, over time, we look back, when I go visit Laredo, we see things. You really stand out as a true champion of the community, but also of yourself and who you are, regardless of wins or losses. You'll always be a winner to all of us,
Yeah.
So
well said, dude.
That, yeah.
Well said, David.
No, thank you.
Said,
Coach.
Said. I appreciate that. I big forgiving heart, and you just, you got to pass those type of things along, and don't ever give up.
Oh yeah.
No.
And before we have your surprise, Coach, I want to, we went down memory lane, which is great, but let's talk a little bit about your golf game. How are we looking out there, Coach?
I give all props. Okay, I am dead serious, and you guys can probably appreciate this. Coach Colleen and and the guys, when we started golfing, they were already golfing, when we were at Nixon and stuff. But I guess starting back then, we'd go and shoot, man, they just hung in there with me, man. because I was horrible, man. I'm not shitting you, man. I'm over in the Monte getting rattlesnakes up.
Is your handicap a 6? Is your handicap a 6? Is that what
I don't even know what handicaps are to this day.
Joe Biden's a handicap's a 6.
Yeah, but just patience, man. Guys that they kept asking me back. Normally if you got a guy that's not very good at the beginning, and you're playing with a better group, they won't ask you to go back. But man, I was fortunate enough that Coach Colleen, would ask me to go a lot, and he would give me little pointers, keep the elbow in, keep it down, little things, how to hold it, correctly, and my shot straightened out, So yeah, man. I mean, I can get it down the fairway, and I give a lot of props to I call them my coaches, and because when you play with different people, they all got things coming at you, and I try to take those little things in and use what I can. But I love the game, man. It's challenging, It's challenging. I don't chase golf balls anymore into the Monte though. I just let that one go.
Coach. Yeah. We'll take a drop here. It's fine.
Yeah. How about and you guys? You guys are enjoying it? Golf?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll go first, David. Relax. Coach, as much as I can get out there, I really enjoy it. It's my wife always told me, it's like, look, if you're gonna go play golf, make sure you look nice playing it, because I'm pretty sure you're pretty bad. So I always made sure I look good playing bad, but the work ethic and like trying to get better is something that I really enjoy. And like it is,
and
it's
where
a
do
challenge.
You guys play from? Y'all play from the tips or like
the whites, Coach. I'm in the
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah, I want to have a good time, Coach. That's why I feel. I don't. As much as I would love to take it seriously, I'm not there yet. But just again, I think it's the company that we have with you playing. And I think that's one of the reasons why the coaches always brought you back. Like your company, just like we have David. David, he loves being out there with us. Golf is there, but it's like he'd rather just have a couple beers and he's like, I'm just gonna watch, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not how you play; it's who you play with.
Right,
I feel
man.
It's not how you play. I mean, there's etiquette, right? You don't want to take 6 minutes to look for a ball, but if you hit the ball right and you're having a good conversation and having a good time, it's always fun. I still have my Wilson clubs from college. So unlike Steve, I didn't invest $400 on Callaways. I still have my Wilson, and I'm proud of it. And I don't invest much into it other than just the friendships that I make or that I continue to have with golf. So
it goes. They go straight with those clubs as well. How about
Heck? Go straight as well.
Yeah. Is Heck about Heck? Are you playing in Mexico City?
I haven't played in Mexico, but I mean the reason why I love golf is how like a young Tiger Woods, he has this quote on why golf is addicting, and he says something along the lines like, not everyone can dunk from the free throw line, not everyone could kick a ball 100 yards or whatever, but everyone can make a putt and everyone could get on the fairway every once in a while. And I think that's what's the addicting aspect of it, and just being out there with your friends, just relaxing, you forget the world for a little bit and you're just there in your own head. And
I agree.
So that's why I love the game.
I agree, man.
Nice.
I agree. We still want to fly down there and play golf in Mexico City, though.
We'll make it happen, Coach.
Yeah, we'll get Renee together.
We'll make it happen.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll get Colleen on that flight. Him and I are both here. We'll both be on that flight.
We'll find a way,
yes,
Coach.
Sir.
Well, talking about company, Coach Hopkins, we have our own chat that we've had for years with a few of the players. I think it's like 8 of us that we still keep in touch. We still talk about our families. We still mess around like we used to when we were 16, 15, 14. And it couldn't be just us today. So a little surprise here. We got some of the guys to come and say hi to you as well besides us. And so we have Ruben Rodriguez and Danny also Lozano here to just say hi to you as well, Coach Hopkins. So
what's up, Ruben? How you doing, man? One quick story about Ruben, man. He freaked out one time. I was delivering groceries at his house, and he came out and he's like, you Coach Hopkins? I go, that's me.
Nice.
Yeah, and I work for Danny. If Danny, are you still with HEB?
I am.
Fair.
Nice.
Well, me and you are kind of like partners, man. I deliver some of y'all's groceries occasionally.
I'll take that partnership any day of the week, Coach.
I love
guys,
it, man. I love it.
You have anything to say for
you guys
to Coach Hop?
hopping in, dude? That's cool.
Yeah.
Ruben's getting ready to have a baby.
Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, we're getting ready to have a baby in the next couple of weeks. So,
do we know what we're having yet?
We're having a baby boy.
Let's go.
Oh, that's awesome,
Congrats.
man.
I mean, I'd name him Coach Hopkins, but like my wife said,
Brad, middle name Brad.
Brad Hopkins Rodriguez. She ended up picking the name, didn't let me chime in on it. So
what's your name?
Lorenzo Atzel.
Oh, that's awesome, bro.
Nice.
Lorenzo
We'll get you a
Quetzali?
Chingos onesie, man.
Yeah, no, she already told me I want a onesie, so we'll be ordering.
Dude, we'll make one just for you, dude. You know, look at that. All right, just
that's
plug. Sorry
cool.
about that.
Hey, with Ruben and Danny, man, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but I just wanted to project or let you guys know we're just real proud of y'all's group, man. Real proud of your group. I know Ruben. I know you got hurt on that daggum play. I think it was your senior year, man. That's tough, but you showed a lot of. Like we talked about earlier, a lot of character. You went on and, did what you need to do. It didn't affect you in a negative way. I appreciate y'all being here tonight, showing up. That's cool, y'all. Hadn't seen y'all in a long time.
Well, I see you a lot. I see you down McPherson, Delmar. I mean,
Ruben will
send me an inbox when he sees me like telling off a car or something that's in the way. He inboxed me one time. I said, "Hey, I saw you driving at that person you went around." I was like, "Yeah," because he wouldn't get out of the way.
Yeah, I know. I'm still kind of waiting for that invite to go play golf with you and Coach Colleen.
Hey, for sure, man.
We got to make it a group thing here. Steve,
little tournament action here.
Man, I know with my group of guys, we're always like, because it's just hard to get them together, and go. I like to play in the morning early or in the evening, play 9 just, real quick or whatever, but
get your picks in.
We'll do that.
Go.
We'll do that. We'll do that.
Well, hold on.
Look at this.
Hold on. There's
special
one
guest.
more surprise.
Let's go.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Wow.
Let's go. El Licencio.
Ellie, that's fitting a little tight there.
Little tight, bro.
That's awesome.
That's actually Coach Hopkins' shirt from when we were in high school, right, Coach?
Hey, Ellie, did you hear the story I told on you, man, from 6th grade? 6th grade tryouts, man, basketball. Ellie is started a little Phenom Academy with some kids, and it's going to grow, man. I can tell there's a little fire lit, and those kids are, that was the other thing I wanted to bring up too is just being magnetic, as coaches. That's the one message I can send is, man, it's turn off home, and when you get to work between those white lines or where it is you're coaching with kids, and I'm sure, you guys feel this way, is, a coach that, is magnetic is going to be a coach that draws kids in, helps them listen, helps them learn and things like that, while at the same time makes it fun, and as long as, like we said, good work is getting done, and Ellie, good, I wish you and the guys, JJ, we were making fun of JJ earlier a little bit, and
who doesn't?
Who doesn't, Coach? We still do.
We love him though, right? We love the guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's an okay guy.
Hold on, Ellie.
We're lucky to have him. All you guys, for sure, man, for sure. And a quick story about Danny.
Ellie,
I got to get one
on
Danny.
Sorry, Coach. Ellie, you're
I
on
am?
mute, bro. No, Ellie is.
Am I good?
Okay.
Yeah,
there,
go ahead, dude.
Sorry, guys.
Good job.
The
Let's have
technology.
Ellie say something. He
I'm
was
the
trying to say
same way. I
something.
got my wife standing here when I push the wrong button. She's like, "You dummy, you got to push that button."
That's you,
Ellie, if I was
But
there,
one
man,
quick
I
story
would
about
help
Danny.
you out.
Danny, let's go.
Real quick story about Danny. 7th grade football. Y'all may remember this, man. And we were over there working with I don't know what drill it was. Danny, I'm sure you remember this. I don't know what drill it was or whatever, but man, you took like a helmet into the gut and you lost your air and you were like, oh, I mean, you couldn't say anything. And I just saw tears coming out of your eyes. You just wasn't talking. I was like, oh my God, this is what they prepared us for. This is that injury,
Drill, Coach. I remember that to this day.
Do you remember it? Yeah, and I'll never forget that. And man, it's just it's just part of it. That later on, I didn't know what the heck and how to run a drill like to keep kids from getting their wind knocked out of them and stuff. I was early in my career. Not to make any excuses, but you get a little better as far as your teaching as you go along. So I apologize for that, Danny.
Coach, I just remember you standing over me, and like I was laying on the ball on the floor, and you flipped me over, and I was speechless, right? I couldn't talk, and I just remember you saying, "Danny, you got your wind knocked out of you, son." But Coach, you could have fooled us. I can speak for myself. When I look back at where I'm, my career and just my life, there's folks that stand out in your life, and they're great leaders of men, just great leaders, fathers, mentors, and I know you've been that for me in my life, and so I think back to whether you were a young coach at that time, to me I just saw you as, wow, this is somebody I would follow. And even hearing you tonight, the way you talk, it still motivates me. I feel like I want to.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I want to run 100 yards.
I'll run to the wall right now. Let's do it.
Yeah, seeing your posts on Facebook, I'm honestly in awe at all that you all remember about when we were 14, 15, 16. And just the attention to detail that you have of knowing your kids and the care that you have for them outside of coaching, outside the X's and O's, but just knowing people's lives and helping get the best out of them. I can't express how much I think that means to families, to kids, and just having someone like you in their life. I know you meant a lot to the community of Nixon, community of Laredo. Certainly you meant a lot to me and my family. So I really appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I see your dad and mom very frequently, and I always ask about you and Rudy, and yeah, for sure, man. It's just all it's just about caring for the people that you're around, and hopefully that you project that on them and they go out and do the same thing when they grow up. So because somebody projected it on me, I guarantee you, and there's too many people to name, but for sure you want the best for people, big time. I know when the first time I saw a Ruben story real quick, I don't know if he'll remember this or not, but we recruited Ruben very heavily out of Figueroa Middle School.
Really?
I don't know if you remember that.
Why are you shocked, man?
No, not really.
Okay.
He was destined to be a Mustang. His dad and I think his mom may have come. I know his dad played for Nixon, and I was like, he came down and he made a play his freshman year. And I was like, who is that, man? That guy can hit. And he's like a little dude. Ruben lit some kid up. I have no idea. He just brought it, man. Talking about run through people.
Oh, yeah.
And when I found out, his background and stuff like that, I was like, wow, man, we are building something here at Nixon. And we're getting, good kids to come here, Because once you enroll, we got you.
Yeah.
That was the old motto. Once you're enrolled at Nixon, we can work with you. We can't talk to you outside of that. And and just awesome, man. And you went on, and like I said, I hated that you got that injury because you were mad. You were part of it, man. you and Joey Martinez, y'all could lay wood, man, on kickoff. That's for sure.
Seeing that.
Spears.
Let's
all you
Ellie,
guys.
let's hear what you have to say, bro. Come on.
No.
Finally, Ellie can talk.
No,
Ellie can
no,
talk
I think-
now, Coach.
I think we need JJ for Ellie. Go ahead, Ellie.
Like speaking, but yeah, like I was, you know, I guess like listening to all the stories and everything, and you know, just brought smiles to my face. You know, like the way we all that stuff. You know, it's fun to see everybody doing well now, and well, I started my my coaching with Phenom Training, so I'm kind of getting, you know, kind of want to be like Coach Hop, you know, trying to train kids, steer them in the right direction and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's very inspiring, Coach.
And if anybody out
Good,
there's
man.
watching,
Rep 'em
Phenom
up,
Football,
brother.
right there,
Phenom
phone
Football,
number,
man.
956-740-4717. Everyone's interested.
Thank you, Dave.
Good, man.
Oh,
Yes, sir. You can't beat
well,
that.
Coach, y'all did a really good job that first off season, our freshman year, on weeding
camp.
that first boot camp. Y'all weeded out the ones that needed to leave, and they stayed with whatever group you have now. Wishbone was the best.
Was it
But-
Death
Crazy,
Alley?
man.
Is it called Death Alley? No.
Death Alley.
Yeah.
Was it Death Alley?
The dog bone. The mats.
Yeah. Man.
Oh, the mat.
mats,
Yeah,
wrestling.
all those
Yeah.
competition drills, man. We're to
King of the
develop
mats.
toughness. You
King
know?
of the mat. There you go.
Yeah.
King of the mat, man. That was intense.
Yeah,
And
man.
I
That
know,
was the
now
big one.
don't
That was where we
even-
found it. That's where you found your dogs.
That's
Mhm.
yeah.
That's where we found them.
Remember
Yeah, we knew
locking
who was
it
going to
out
strap.
without.
oh yeah, we had to lock
Yeah.
out our stance without movement, or else we gotta do it again.
Yeah,
Gotta do it again. Yeah.
yeah. I had the weight
Wipe your
command
sweat.
station. I remember those days, man. Freezing cold, and you know, going out there at 8 a.m. and you know, just you know,
Putting in the
putting on a
work.
layer of toughness on our kids, yeah, and on ourselves as well, man.
As
I remember
well.
coming in and turning on the hot water
Early
and letting
morning.
my hands thaw out in there, like wow.
Jeez.
But yeah, you guys, you know, I just can't say enough. Just you know, we're all proud of you. You know, all you guys, and how far you've come, and how far you're going to go, and continue to do. You know, so
Thanks,
just
Coach.
know that. Just know that,
Yeah.
man. I got to do this same thing with my coach about 3 years ago, man. I hadn't talked to him in like, shoot, it'd been over 35 years, maybe, you know, and I hadn't spoken with him. He's in his mid to late 70s now, you know, and so, you know, it's just awesome, you know, to reconnect. And that's the good thing about, you know, these FaceTimes and these podcasts and stuff like that. I encourage you to continue to do it, man, you know. Just real
You heard it
appreciative
here, guys.
of you guys. Know that.
Thanks,
yeah,
Coach.
look at this. Look at this. The crew here. The most beautiful football team ever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look at
A lot of these guys I
got
got on Facebook, man. A lot of these guys I have on Facebook.
and
Yeah,
you know, we
sure
still
do.
talk to some of these guys, and it's a lot of fun with everyone having them
By the
on,
way it
right?
looks,
But
I
it
think
is.
Ellie's still wanting a call back to go play at Nixon again. I mean, he still has his room fixed up like if he was in high school.
Got my uniform ready, Coach.
Your room, okay? It's my trophy
That's
room.
all right. What I want to know is I want to know where the athlete is going to go. That's what I want to know. I see all these coaches training her over at Nixon,
Oh yeah.
over at here, over there. They're pulling her, man. They're trying to get her to go.
She's going to United. She's going to United.
I don't know. At first, I was going to Nixon, but I don't know, Coach. She's resisting.
Yeah. She's got a great group of friends around her. I know Miss Boteo that works there at Hera, and you know she has nothing but great things to say about all the kiddos that are coming up, you know, and the all the athletes and kiddos that go to school there at Hera. So
I wouldn't be surprised if Ellie's daughter's the next quarterback at United. Shoot. That girl can play.
Yeah, that's our catching passes at Garner.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Natural talent.
You know, my cousin played football at United. Becky De Leon. back in the day. We were
Really?
probably in I was in 7th grade, maybe, and I saw her actually United. She's I think the only female. I think she was like I think she was like a linebacker or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was probably a guard like you, or she was probably better than you.
Hey, Coach Hobbs said I only had to hold them back for 3 seconds. He's like, David, I don't expect much from you. Just hold them for 3 seconds, man. 3 seconds.
St. Hog, man. David, St. Hog now has a football program.
Oh, they do? Oh, wow.
They sure do, man. I've officiated a few of their games. It's 6-man football. He's an alumni. That's right. That is correct, though.
Well, I was recruited as well, Ruben. You weren't the only one recruited. I was recruited from St. Hog as well.
David, what side of town? Where did you live, David?
So I moved around. So I've been in. What do you mean?
Did you live by St. Hog?
No, I was cheating. I lived in the Martin side. I was in the Chacon.
No, he lived half a block away from the main boys club.
From the main boys club, yeah, by the railroad tracks.
Right by the railroad tracks.
Right by the railroad tracks. Yeah. I was zoned to Martin.
You must have pulled one of those sneaky sneaks.
I did.
Got that permission to come to Nixon.
I put my.
Or
I know. Everybody had to get those permissions every year.
No, I just lied.
Out of district.
Who?
All of our defense was out of district.
Oh yeah. Well, the district lines kind of changed.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Oh shoot! I know that.
Not as strict as they are
People
now.
would ask that, like, "Hey, doesn't this guy live?" I don't know where he lives, to be quite honest. I just know he's enrolled at Nixon.
Yep. I don't handle the administrative part of it. He's just here to work. That's it.
Oh boy.
Well, Coach, we appreciate
fun season,
taking the time.
man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fun
season.
I have to say one thing, Coach Hopkins, and anybody else that's listening to this. I have to say this. All right. I was made to say it, but I agree with this. Well, I am sorry for any heartache or pain I caused you or your family or anyone else at any time while I was at senior year Nixon during our football season. I am sorry 130%. There, guys. Are y'all happy? Are y'all happy?
Good job, David.
Okay.
You're
job,
a
David.
better person.
Right, no, but I do mean it.
You're a better person, dude. Good job.
Coach Hopkins, to Coach Lopez, to all the coaches that were there, I am sorry
I'll
for
share
all
that
the
with
things that
Coach.
happened. Please do. Please do.
Hey,
Please
I'll
do.
share that with Coach, man. Hey, you're forgiven. I mean,
thank you.
It's not a big deal. We move on. We learn and we move on. We played the next game, and things like that. I think with coaches, you just kind of think like, dadgummit,
I know.
Kind of like what we said, dadgummit, they made a mistake, we move on. And, but never, do we kick anybody by the curb or anything. We just make an adjustment. And we move on. That was tough on everybody, man.
Everyone.
Everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah, but we got through it. We got through it.
I'm glad I did it. I didn't end
up. No
hard
hard feelings ever, bro.
No. Okay, good. Man, I feel good.
David got through the bottle though.
No, for the record, I never drank, man. I never drank, man. But okay,
that's another podcast, man. That's another.
That's a whole other hour. Coach Hopkins, we love you, and I guess should we close out like we were in a huddle? What do we used to do back in the day? What was our huddle? 1, 2, 3 stangs. What was it?
I don't remember. I got
first score. Mustang score.
Oh, wait, Steve had to say that.
No, we have to say it for Ellie here.
No, JJ was saying.
Yeah, before we close out, Coach, again, thank you very much for taking the time with us. You have been a big mentor in a lot of our lives here, and just like all the guys said, we always have our fondest, like one of great memories playing for you, and the personal level that you had with us was great, and you pushed us to the next level. So again, thank you for the time that you gave us today.
Well, again,
thank you, Coach.
I'm just real honored, man. Very, very honored. And I just followed the leader. I had great leaders, that I looked up to, and so now it's y'all's turn, man. Pass it on to the next generation. They'll be doing the same thing for you. like this was totally unexpected, but wow, man.
Coach Chop.
Does the soul good, right?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. So we appreciate you
Steve.
guys. What's up, man?
Steve, sorry. Are you gonna get Coach a shirt?
Oh yeah, we're sending them.
Which color do you like, Coach Hop? So there's the white one, like I have. There's a black one, and then there's this. They call it the Whataburger shirt, but it's the throwback
or the America shirt.
Or the America shirt. You pick one, Coach. How would you like?
I'm feeling them all, really. I like David's shirt. I like David.
Yeah.
The white one's
good in white.
I think you would do that as well.
Just remember though, I'm gonna send you back a donation to your organization threefold. So whatever it costs, just understand that you are going to get that donation back. Okay. I don't want anything free or anything like that. I will gladly promote it. And again, man, I can't, say how proud, that we are of all of y'all. And that goes for all the other coaches. I speak, for them. Coach Lopez and Coach Sanchez, had a part in all of this, and I learned from the best, man. So it's y'all's turn now. So get your butt out there and get to work.
We are.
Right.
Every day we hustle. Yep. Every day we're shooting for those 3 seconds,
Good.
man. All we do is
I know y'all do. I know you do. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Again.
Thanks for being here,
We
Coach.
love you, man. You take care, all right?
There you go.
Ellie, Danny, Ruben, thanks, guys.
All of y'all. We love
Thanks
you
for being
all.
here, guys.
Chingos of Golf.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Hey, we're not signing off yet.
champions. I'll see y'all.
All right, Coach.
See you, Coach. Bye-bye.
All right,
Coach.
Damn, wasn't
Thanks,
that a nice interview?
Yeah,
wow,
that was great, man. That was great. That's
a dream,
Yeah.
almost dreamy. Like I will say, people in our situation maybe never have this chance. And
I do want to address the listeners in that fashion. Like Coach Hopkins was more than a coach. I mean, he was a father figure to many of us.
Yeah,
and we're grateful that he was here today. And for those who don't have. Or for those who have their own Coach Hop that impacted their lives, I recommend you reach out to them and let them know.
Yeah, a little bit, man. Yeah, it doesn't take more than 5 seconds. Again, guys, I Coach Hopkins on social media, and I just reached out, and 100% he was ready to go, and it was great having him. So it was awesome. Great show, guys. Great show.
Yeah. You have to make time for those that made a change in your life. And we were blessed to have that opportunity and to also say our piece of support that we still have for him. Shoot, if he ever needs anything, we're here for him as well. And I'm glad we're able to I don't want to say close this chapter, but
no, not at all.
What's the right word? Like, put icing on the cake of it, of the fun that we had, and as adults enjoy it.
Yeah, I think remind us of the people who impacted our lives. That it doesn't take much to reach out, and it's just the beginning. It's like there's probably more people that we need to thank, and maybe we can start a series in the future about that.
I know
that would be great.
We could do a whole episode on other stuff, and I wish we get Coach Lopez and others. I think this was just beautiful, man, and a great experience. And I
shout out to Ruben, Danny, and Ellie for just jumping on. That was great, taking the time and taking that couple of minutes and just to share that with us, and even to our listeners, guys. We appreciate you guys. Leo, what's up, man?
Leo, what's up, baby?
And
Leo,
again, we're gonna keep going. Again, this is something that we love doing, and we'll keep it going for you guys.
Yeah, it's fun. It takes time. Make sure you buy Chingos of Golf, and also from our sponsors, Hala Pepino, right?
Oh yeah, Hala Pepino. Thanks.
Put their stuff information there, and thank them as well for your support. Man,
David's already getting sleepy. It's all right.
I'm getting sleepy. This was a mental, beautiful rush, a high that I haven't had in a long time.
A lot of unresolved issues. So you got closure, dude? Did you get some closure, man?
Yeah. I said what I just said. I wanted to talk a little bit more about it, but maybe round 2, episode 2, we'll talk more about what happened
Can you Google this stuff, or I don't think you can't, right?
You could probably call. Like, I was trying to get Pro 8 News to get like the story from that month. Like, it's November 2000. I think, but you have to pay like $20 or something, and there's the main article
for them to take it out the archives.
To take archives, but then I thought about it
that far back.
Once you do that, it goes into internet, and it's different.
Here we go.
We were so lucky. There was no internet. Like Coach Hopkins said, there was no phone. We didn't take pictures. Imagine the times that could have been. But, man, like in the words of Leo Lopez and Coach Hop, what time is it?
Fourth quarter.
All right, man. Y'all have a good night. Love you guys.
All right,
Thank y'all
guys.
for listening.
Guys, thanks.
Bye-bye,
Appreciate
boys.
you guys.
See you guys.
Y'all enjoyed it. Bye-bye.